Good to go? Sure? Sorry, I didn't come across as like, no, you sure? Alright, easy. Oh, well, let's give it a go, mate. If it works, it works.
Yeah. No, he didn't. Shalamanov started last week.
No, he didn't, bro. I was there. I was there, bro. Oh, yeah. They're never accurate, yeah? Sports CG never accurate.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Yeah, look, let's... I heard you're new, mate. Welcome to the team.
No, I'm not new. I'm like, I haven't done software since the start of the season.
Oh! Yes, I see. I've got two of the...
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking helpful.
See, because that's gonna...
Yeah, well, that's helpful. They gave me the wrong one.
No.
No. So I think... No. So these go here. It's like this goes... This will go here. So I think this goes here. This goes here.
Yeah.
And then...
Same with this one.
Yeah, so that goes here. Yeah. And then... I got my own mic. Yeah. So... Hello? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
からできるんだぞ。変だぞ、僕に。Alegre com que não? Mas que lá tu não te espera que tu de cada vez não. Me piava uma coisa cara.
Welcome to round number 19, NPL Victoria men's competition. Leaving the chasing pack for a few weeks, Heidelberg bounced back in a big way last Sunday, defeating Ross Papadakis, who's on his first comms game ever. A big welcome to Ross. How are you doing? How are you feeling? It's a big game. You feel there's a big aura of excitement around the ground, and I think more pressing matters. Heidelberg United, they've had a big week themselves.
Feeling good. It's a nice turnout, good weather. Should be a good game.
Absolutely, and we'll take you through the starting lineups, starting off with the Port Melbourne Sharks. Nick Marinos returns to Heidelberg United, kind of, I guess. Obviously was announced as the under-23s coach at the back end of last calendar year. Unfortunately for Heidelberg, they were not blessed with his services as he went to the Port Melbourne Sharks in a senior coaching role. Fairly unchanged from last week. Number 12, Alex Baker. Number 25, Alex Petrovsky. Number 14, Jackson Courtney Perkins. Number 18, Fraser Dunlop. Number 6, Dan Edwards. Number 28, Nathaniel Hancock. Number 11, Charlie Leach. Number 22, Maker. Number 24, Evan Makogianakis. Number 5, Danik Milovanovic. And number 35, Emmanuel Peters. As for Heidelberg United, number 20, Mo Aidara. Number 4, Jamal Ali. Number 8, Owen Ashton. Number 3, Ben Collins. Number 5, Aidan Fedahajic. Number 7, Leo Mazes. Number 21, Nicholas Olsen. Number 14, Kane Shepard will start likely up top with Josh Pinn suspended for 4 matches. Number 1, Yaron Souza. Number 16, Asahi Yokokawa. And number 9, Adrian Zara, who captains the side. Just about ready to get underway. Our man in the middle, Adam Bavkar, is checking his watch, and we are underway. Ross, a big week as mentioned for the Burgers. Both in league and cup and also various draws of the likes. Do you think that will play into the player psychology?
I think Heidelberg will just play their game. Obviously, they've got the news about the versus Central Coast here in the round of 32 of the Australia Cup, so I think the excitement will be all over it.
Absolutely, and they also did draw against South Melbourne in the Doherty Cup playoff, which you really just can't believe from a South Melbourne perspective. They've had to face in the Cup this season Melbourne Knights, Preston Lions, and Heidelberg United. And if they get through, they'll have to face the Oakley Cannons. So essentially, it's one of the hardest Cup draws you'll ever see. But for John Anastasiadis' men, it'll be a very big opportunity for them to secure silverware. And here is Owen Ashton, who runs over. It's Olsen with the delivery towards the back post. There is Fedahajic. And it might fall kindly for Ashton across the face, but Marco Yanakis made the save. Evan Marco Yanakis, of course, the former Bulleen Lions goalkeeper, arrived across back to the Sharks after a few seasons stint there. And has now taken the number 1 ahead of Salamanov Trenkov. It might fall kindly for Zara with the strike. Also a former Port Melbourne player himself, Adrian Zara. Here's Yokokawa looking down the line towards Aidara. Hancock providing chase. It's Aidara shifting it across to Leo Muzzes with a bit of trickery, and the Sharks do well to clear their lines, but JA style of football, firm imprint on this side, and obviously Josh Pinn suspended from his red card, and obviously Ross, you did do some research during the week, and it is an enormous suspension and enormous loss for them, who, I guess the Burgers has been such a revelation for them, Josh Pinn.
Yeah, he's had a good season, but I think Kane Shepherd's no bad replacement, so he'll fit in nicely.
Yeah, absolutely, and Josh Pinn with 7 goals in the league and has been in and out with injury. I think a red card earlier in the campaign as well. So, but Kane Shepherd, well, we all know what he can do. Former Newcastle Jets, Avondale, and also at Western United as well. He's had a bit of a stint there. Was actually signed to Hume City at the start of the 2022 season, and then obviously was just sent across to Western United. Never took the pitch under Nick Hegarty. Here's Souza. Baker with the header. Ali shifting across, back towards Ben Collins. Olsen. Edwards with a good touch. Back towards Baker. And here's Marko Giannakis. Back to Baker. It's Leach. Baker. Edwards. Well, Nick Marinos, of course, is a very young coach. This is his first senior coaching gig in the NPL. Peters is in an offside position, but I think considering the players that he has on the park and what he's been able to accomplish with this side is truly remarkable. I think many people say that he's overperformed. I mean, do you sort of fit the same mould in terms of your opinions on that basis?
I think I do, yeah. Port Melbourne's not had the worst season, but, I mean, they're not also had the best. But this should be still early in his management, so see how it goes.
Absolutely. And here's Olsen shifting it onto his left. Looking to beat past Baker. It's Idara. Such a decorated player, Mohamed Idara, within his career. I mean, he's achieved so much. Very much a diamond in the rough in the NPL. Victoria. This is Olsen looking to shift it across towards Mazes, but the pass intercepted. But Heidelberg with a great start within this tie. Here's Hancock looking down the line. And providing a lot of pressure is Nick Olsen. Port struggled to play out of the back. It's back with Fraser Dunlop now. Looking to find Peters, who goes to ground. But how good have Heidelberg been in enforcing the press and ensuring that they can't afford Port Melbourne any space whatsoever. Here's Yaron Souza. Of course, formerly of Pascoe Vale and played there as a 17-year-old, and has a great ball down the line towards Mazes, who's looking to create space within the penalty area now. Leo Mazes across the face, he hits the post! The Burgers strike first, but not in the back of the net, hitting the right post. What a great chance for Leo Mazes.
Very close, great finish as well. If that was going in, just the wrong side of the post.
Ali across to Ben Collins now. They're certainly asking the question of Evan Marko Giannakis. Shepherd. Here's Aiden Fedahajic. Back with Collins under some pressure from Jackson Courtney Perkins. As Souza just flicks it across towards Collins, who might be in a bit of a pickle here, and has it just essentially laid it up to himself. Here's Idara, shifting away beautifully. Now Souza. So a bit of deja vu for Yaron Souza. I mean, he's one of his former clubs. He'll be facing in the Australia Cup.
It is, yeah, Central Coast. He won the championship there with them, so nice little turnaround.
And yeah, of course, after his stint with the Central Coast, he moved across to Malta with Guja United, and following another stint at St George City in the NPL New South Wales, but he's come back to his rightful home here in the NPL Victoria. And it's just one aspect and part of a litany of former A-League players within this Heidelberg United 11. A side that really hasn't brought in too much talent in the off-season, but the players that they have brought in, Leo Mazes, Ben Collins, Asai Yokokawa, have been absolute standouts, Ross.
Yeah, they have. They've got a very good mould, Heidelberg. So it's really nice to see. Like, these players, watching them now, look very comfortable on the ball, just moving the ball. I mean, Port Melbourne's midfield really haven't got a whole lot of it. So it's really, really structured.
And that's what John Anastasiadis does, really, as a coach. I mean, within his career, sort of has won so many trophies. He's a serial winner. Even with Western United, won the A-League there as an assistant under John Aloisi. I think now is the time for him to really carve out a legacy for his own at a higher level, as Courtney Perkins receives in transition, and Edwards might have some tracking back to do. Here's Nick Olsen. Of course, J.A. has been sounded out as a potential candidate for the Melbourne Victory position. I would say he's more than capable. And Souza shifts it across towards Adrian Zara, deputising as left back. Of course, Nicolaides has been dispossessed from that position. I'm not sure that's the right word to use, but it's sort of been displaced, should I say. Opting for experience. And here is Maker, Leach. Back towards Alex Baker. I mean, quite the interesting career path for him, Alex Baker. Has already had so many clubs at his tender age. Ross, he's a very versatile player as well in terms of not both his mentality but also his positional attributes.
He has. He's kind of played all over the park this season, but he's found his pace, I guess. So he's moving, but.
Here's Mazes beating past Hancock. It's Leo Mazes shifting it across towards Nick Olsen. Going to get a touch to it. Absolute pandemonium in the area as Milovanovic just bats it clear. And Leo Mazes finding so much space in behind. And that's what you would expect from a player of his quality. Yeah,
Leo Mazes is looking good. He's looking very, very good this game. He's got a lot of space as well, and he's just skinning all the defenders.
Mazes across to Yokokawa, but it's left towards Aidara. It's back with Yokokawa. Dunlop heads away. It's Courtney Perkins joining in. Back with Aidara. Twisting, turning. Looking towards Ben Collins. Yokokawa. Here is Jamal Ali. Driving into space. Across towards Olsen. Well, J.A. happy to play keep ball. And here's Yokokawa looking across down the line, but looks like Alex Baker was going to get to it first, but the zippy Jamal Ali won out on that occasion. Here's Shepherd. Across towards Nick Olsen, but dispossessed, and here is Peters. A beautiful turn past Ben Collins. But Yokokawa got in the way, and hasn't he grown into a seasoned professional within this Heidelberg 11 in recent weeks? Scored that outrageous goal against South Melbourne, but it's to be expected with the quality of opposition he's played against in his career.
He has. He's capped the youth level for Japan. He's played in Japan. He's been great, honestly. You have a look at his CV. I guess he's just screams experience.
And at youth level, of course, has played against quite the players, both against Australia and I believe against one Jordan Courtney Perkins, who's actually Jackson Courtney Perkins' brother, but another player as well, in which you highlighted earlier this week, as we do see, ironically enough, Jackson Courtney Perkins racing down that left flank. It's Courtney Perkins looking to cut it across. A win back possession for the Sharks, and Edwards with the delivery towards the back post. And Maker will pick up the loose ball, and a foot in the back, and now it's back towards Leach. flicked in by Bechvinovsky, who unfortunately can't keep it in. But yes, Yokokawa, of course, formerly of Albirex Niigata, being the Singaporean outfit, but at youth level, has played against quite the player, Ross. And who might that be? Who might that be?
Oh, he's got a couple names, but the name that stands out, Jeremy Doku from the Belgium national team, is literally playing in the European Championship right now. So it's quite a great CV from the player.
And yeah, I guess has benefited more so from Anthony Lesiotis being out of the side due to injury, and that's a poor giveaway from the Sharks, and Shepherd will beat past one in Alex Baker. Was Baker formerly of the Western United Academy, where Shepherd spent a few months out a few seasons ago, and Yokokawa with the delivery. Milovanovic with the strong header, and Maker will look to drive. Zara. Mazis. Checking onto his right. I guess one of the forgotten players of Australian football, in Leo Mazis, is to be said, was actually a highly, highly touted prospect a few years ago. And as a Canberran-born player, you do get that sort of aura around them. Jason Garia, George Timotheou, Tom Rogic, of course, and more so on that, Ross. What do you think's been the key for him? He's had a lot of experience at a high level.
He has. He was actually the second Canberran to play for Celtic Football Club, after obviously Tom Rogic, as mentioned by Neil there. But he's been there. He's been Celtic. He's been to Spain. He's been to the Italian leagues.
Yeah,
Serie
yeah. Had a couple trials as well, I believe, with the Western Sydney Wanderers and Adelaide United, but unfortunately couldn't break in there. Milovanovic, here's Hancock. Another poor giveaway, and Hancock with a foot in, and Bavkar might go into his back pocket. Or maybe not. Yellow card. And you do mention Adam Bavkar, one of the most seasoned refs in the competition. Quite a contrast when you consider one of the ARs on the bench.
17-year-old on the wing, on the AR2, closest to the grandstand. His dad was actually a assistant referee in the 1994 FIFA World Cup, Eugene Brazzali. So he's got a lot of lessons to learn from his father, I guess you could say, Neil.
I'm not sure wherever you'll see a 17-year-old doing AR for an NPL Victoria match, but stranger things have occurred at this level. Here's Jamal Ali. Towards Olsen. Twisting, turning, and looks to hook it into the area, but Leach was there. But briefly dispossessed by one Owen Ashton, but it'll be Evan Markoyanakis to take. Now, about 15 minutes into this Saturday afternoon contest, Ross, it's mainly been Heidelberg, but they haven't threatened so much, I guess, besides that shot that hit the post.
They have. You'd argue the last 5-10 minutes have been all Port Melbourne as well a little bit here, apart from the couple runs down the line by Marzis. Haven't really been pressuring them the past 5 minutes, but anyone's game here.
Yes, of course, the Port Melbourne Sharks. Maybe a bit of movement to be expected from them in the next few weeks, Ross. Of course, we do hear that one Lucas Burns has departed the club officially, and will be signing with another club in the window. Has been quite a good player for them this season, and has sort of opened up the space for Fraser Dunlop to come in at right back. And, Evan Markoyanakis is not happy with that at all. The positioning more so, and it's ironically enough that the Port Melbourne Sharks players that are growing frustrated and not the coach, Nick Marinos. And, of course, it actually does give us a good opportunity to look around the grounds and see what's going on. The only other game at the moment that's being played, Avondale taking on Manningham United, currently being 3-1 to the Avengers. Sian Cuba, Stefan Zini, and George Ott with the goals, and also Ben Everson scoring from the penalty spot. Earlier today, a shock result at Green Gully Reserve. Oakley Cannons going down 4-2 as the Gully looking to make a late charge towards the top six. Trying to take the position of the one Port Melbourne Sharks. There's some great interplay from the Burgers. Finds Mazes down that left flank. Looking in field towards Yokokawa, Haidara. Such outstanding technical acumen is Yokokawa. It's Shepherd back to goal. Ashton. Yokokawa, Ali. Looking to create space. The Burgers asking plenty of their front three as it might find space for Leo Mazes, who drifted more central and got yet another strike on goal. And he has been the focal point of this Burgers attack.
He has. It doesn't look like Port Melbourne really have an answer for Leo Mazes. He's been all over it. The whole of Heidelberg has, to be honest, as well. They look very comfortable on the ball, soaking up, letting Port Melbourne drag in. It's really structured by Heidelberg, yeah.
Here's Shepherd with some space.
Great ball.
Great ball towards Adrian Zara. Dunlop was dispossessed. Yokokawa. Ben Collins. Yaron Souza. And the Burgers evade the press. Just briefly. Here's Zara. Ben Collins, of course, broke into the Northcote City 11 at a very young age and was signed by Western United, where he made several appearances in the few seasons, mainly within NPL 3, but enjoyed a stellar few seasons under John Anastasiadis, where he does return to work under him. Only 2 appearances within the A-League for Ben Collins. And his former club, Northcote City, flying at the moment, currently sit in second spot in the VPL 1 competition. So that'd be quite something if they do get up. But Ben Collins is someone that you'd expect would be on the radar of national second-tier sides, Ross.
It is. He's obviously, as you've mentioned, he's got a massive playing history with some big clubs in the league. He's obviously won the championship with Western, and he's just a player full of talent.
That's a great line-splitting pass towards Dan Edwards, who spots Emmanuel Peters at the back post. Doesn't find him exactly, is Courtney Perkins. Shifting away, finding Edwards. Leach. Gaining territory on the perimeter of the penalty area. It's Jackson Courtney Perkins. Here is Maker. Towards Baker. It's Alex Baker towards the right byline. Is Dunlop delivered into the mixer. Ooh. And Charlie Leach hits the other post. The woodwork is having an absolute field day here at Olympic Village. Fairly acrobatic as well from one Charlie Leach, who traditionally has sat a lot deeper in this Port Melbourne 11 and an opportunity to get his debut goal. Continues to wait, but deja vu, Ross Papadakis.
Yeah, another post and on the other end. Oh, offside, yeah.
And Nick Olsen is offside. Yeah, Charlie Leach. Wow, that was a very big chance for him. Here's Dan Edwards. Of course, the Kiwi stepping up as captain this season, and also at the time in place of Christian Bombacci, who suffered a long-term injury, unfortunately, a huge loss for them.
Big loss.
Of course, the former Melbourne City Academy product, and actually spent a few weeks at Preston Lions last season. Was originally a Port Melbourne player, left to go to Preston and came back within about 2 months. So,
There you go.
of course, the rules at the time allowed for it. Here's Nathaniel Hancock. Courtney Perkins. Port Melbourne looking a lot more confident in these last 5 minutes or so. Ross?
They do. They look like they've taken control of the game. Heidelberg looks to be sitting a bit deeper. They've just taken 3 or 4 steps back of the halfway line, which, if you were looking earlier in the game, they were probably sitting a step in front of the halfway line. So it looks like they're sitting a bit deeper, soaking up the pressure.
Here's Milovanovic. Courtney Perkins just on halfway. A poor touch. And Leach will look to pick up the scraps. As Adam Bavkar awards yet another free kick. Well, Dane Milovanovic back in the NPL. Yeah, another Canberran. And has had quite the good start to this fixture. As Maker looks towards the back post. Courtney Perkins was free for a brief period. Nick Olsen looks towards Zara. Receives again Nick Olsen with a good first touch. Weaving past Dan Edwards and Charlie Leach. And Idara will play it back towards Yokokawa, but Dane Milovanovic is the most experienced of the Port Melbourne players at the moment. I think he's coming in at 34. So certainly has had quite the career across both the NPL Victoria and Asia. Of course, a youth international at every level. Formerly of the Oakley Cannons, Bentley Greens, Heidelberg United, Green Gully. Over 15 clubs represented, including Madura United in Indonesia. So you talk about experience. Dane Milovanovic fits the description.
He does, yeah. He came through the AIS system as well in Canberra when that existed. Shame to see it go, but some exceptional talent came through that system, so it's just another one on the list.
Here's Hancock. Leach opening up space, and Edwards looking down the line towards Courtney Perkins, but Ben Collins will pick up the scraps. We'll see the goal kick. Lots to draw onto results-wise for Heidelberg United this season after a great unbeaten run. In recent weeks, they've lost a couple, of course, losing to the Oakley Cannons and then a shock loss to Green Gully 2 weeks ago. But the win against South Melbourne would imbue them with a ton of confidence, and also doing it with 10 men for a large part of that contest. Ross, do you think this squad is deep enough to go and survive the rest of the NPL season? You add on Doherty Cup, add on Australia Cup. It's a congested fixture list, especially to the back end of July, August.
It is. They probably need 2 or 3 more players just to fill the void of players that are obviously injured. The red card, obviously, from last week. So we'll see. But, again, yeah, they've got the Australia Cup in a couple of weeks, so we'll see how their squad depth holds up there as well.
Yeah, and that match against the Mariners. I mean, I'm sure we were all licking our lips when that was announced, when Roy O'Donovan drew out the balls. I mean, what an important fixture for Heidelberg, and it does have that different feeling to when they faced Brisbane Roar at the Village 2 years ago, Ross. I mean, the Mariners treble winners. I mean, isn't that such an enormous opportunity for them?
It is. It's great for, obviously, the fans. You can imagine it'll be...
It is Courtney Perkins looking to strike, and Souza makes a save.
Yeah, great for the fans. Limerick Village always pops off on game day against a big opponent. So, Central Coast, what an occasion.
Ali Olsen towards Idara. pockets of space opening up for Heidelberg. Owen Ashton towards Muzzes. Isolating himself against Fraser Dunlop towards Owen Ashton, who's slightly deeper. Ali once more. Shepherd chesting it away. Asahi Yokokawa. And Adrian Zara will take up space. But I'd say a poor attacking move from Heidelberg. They had to move quicker and have some more urgency. They get themselves into such good spaces. And then, I think more than not, they falter at the last moments. And Ashton, a brilliant ball towards Leo Muzzes. Across the face of goal. That's a great lunging challenge from Alex Baker. As I spoke, the commentator's curse. Heidelberg with a great move, ironically enough. Ross, I mean, that line-splitting pass was something magical.
Again, that's come from Leo Muzzes. Again, it looks like he's moved on the other side as well here.
Yeah, a tactical switch from John Anastasiadis. He's looks to put across Nick Olsen on that left flank, it looks like, which is a method employed by most coaches in the NPL, as we do see Shepherd now in transition. Turning away. Adrian Zara. Shepherd. Aiden Fedahajic. And some of the Burgers fans are not too happy with what they're seeing right now. But everything that JA does is calculated and reasonable within the method of intention. As Muzzes wins back the ball but gives away the free kick. But Nick Marinos, of course, had the opportunity to work under John Anastasiadis. It's quite the story. Of course, would have spent every week here playing before or after the senior team. But when you possess an opportunity to coach a senior team and overperform like he's done, I think he made the right decision in joining the Port Melbourne Sharks yet again.
I think he did as well. You're not going to turn down a management job, are you? So, again, it's a good place to start, see where his career takes him.
And here is Adrian Zara towards Nick Olsen. Shifted back across. Yaron Souza. Fedahajic. Port Melbourne with a distinct press being enforced. As they win back possession now, the Sharks. Going towards the mix-up. Leach. Courtney Perkins with the header. Yokokawa. Oh! Emmanuel Peters bundling over Asahi Yokokawa. And quite a few fouls in the opening 30 minutes or so. Ross, is that a method of mind games from the Sharks to impose their physicality?
It could be. They're behind the ball for 20, 25 minutes of the game here, so they kind of need to spice it up a bit, which they have done. You can see their wing backs are pushed up. They're obviously, Heidelberg reacted to that sitting and beat deeper, but on the attack.
You see Dunlop winning the ball and winning the throw-in as well. And yeah, Fraser Dunlop with his first senior goal last week against Manningham United of the season. Came across from Bayswater United in NPL Western Australia. A big move for him from Western Australia, of course. And has come in and performed diligently well. Was a part of that Perth Glory Youth Academy as well, with a bunch of current A-League players, as Bechmanovsky is bundled it down by Adrian Zara and is awarded the free kick. I haven't seen too much of the young superstar, Alex Bechmanovsky, but wins a free kick in an integral area. Would you go direct? Probably not. From this position, Ross?
Port Melbourne look like they've got a bit of height in their squad, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone gets a head on there, and its back post is looking very exposed.
So So it will be Dan Edwards to deliver. We know that he can certainly deliver a ball in the right spaces and time. Against the run of play, could the Sharks strike first? Biding their time as Adam Bavkar is going to blow the whistle imminently. Here's Edwards. Pandemonium. Peters did it cross the line. Did it cross the line? Or might it have been a handball? And Adam Bavkar waves it away. The Sharks are incensed. And we'll have to look at that on replay, but from our vantage point, it's definitely a contentious decision. And there might be a discussion with the assistant referee on the far side. But rarely do you see so many players up in arms. I thought it might have not crossed the line. I'm not sure. It was a handball. Everything's going crazy.
That's riled up the fans as well there. Oh.
Here's Dunlop with a delivery, and the Sharks with the extra spring in their step will continue to hunt their prey. We'll look at that decision in just a few moments as to what we can see upon replay, but well, that's one of the most pivotal moments of the match, to say the very least. And here's Dan Edwards from the corner. In towards the near post. Vidahajic deals with it well, and Muzz's bats are clear.
Free kick here by the looks of it. A bit of a
We're
melee
looking at the
going on.
replay, and it certainly comes at the players very quickly. I think that's for sure. So Edwards does deliver. It hits Maker, and it's headed into the shoulder of Kane Shepherd. I don't think he knew much about it, or in fact, it might have been his arm. So, well, it certainly was stretched out, but it looks like it hit his shoulder or his chest. So, probably the right decision from Adam Bavkar, and a real testament to his refereeing ability.
It is. Adam Bavkar's an exceptional ref. Obviously, he's fourth official in the A-League last season and the season before. But Adam's great referee.
The Sharks really enforcing the press. It's a psychological game here at the Olympic Village. Neither side able to be separated. There's 35 minutes gone. Milanovic. Long searching ball. Collins deals with it well. Maker stepping up high to win the ball. Idara. Zara. Milovanovic. Shifts away. Baker. Maker. And Bechvinovsky is sent free down that right flank and can't hook it forward towards Courtney Perkins. So Mr. Reliable, I think similar to his brother, has played at right back, number 10, striker tonight. It's a real testament to his versatility. I think his brother, Jordan Courtney Perkins, within the A-League, has also played at centre back, at right back, and even in midfield. So I don't know what genes they have to have positional awareness, but pretty special, Ross.
Yeah, the Courtney Perkins family definitely ate their vegetables. So, I mean, a great player by looking at him as well. Very comfortable on the ball. And Heidelberg's attacking here.
And a deft touch from Muzzes, and Peters will be sent down the line. A bit of a physical battle as Peters weaves away past Collins. Incisive ball towards Courtney Perkins. Can he beat past Jaron Souza? Excellent goalkeeping positioning. But this game having it added spice to it, as Idara now will pick up in the defensive half for the Burgers.
Paul Melbourne's got a spring in their step after that free kick and that decision. It's gone against them. So this looks like they're coming out firing here.
Yeah, the game definitely beginning to open up, and this is what you want to see at this level. Still 3-1 at Avenger Park. Looks like the Avengers will hold on to that 3-1 lead and stay within 5 points of South Melbourne. And Heidelberg will be licking their lips at the possibility of jumping into third place as well, with Oakley dropping points for the third week in a row. They've lost 3 consecutive league games as the Sharks win the corner, and Avondale have scored their 4th. Yusuf Ahmed has scored, but not the experienced Yusuf Ahmed, as they call him, Yusuf Ahmed Jr., scoring his first senior goal for the club in the NPL. Here's Daniel Edwards. Hook delivery towards a back post, and Souza gets a hand to it. And Shepherd running down the line to get it clear, and does find Leo Mazes. Potential counter-attack here for the Burgers. Mazes twirling left and looking incisively towards Owen Ashton. Pass slightly overhit, but Leo Mazes having one of the best first halves I think we've seen from him this season. Has been absolutely everywhere, Ross.
He has been everywhere. He's actually looked a little bit quiet, been moved on to the right, but he's still got that explosive power on his movement. So he's really exciting to watch, actually.
Here's Maker. Looking to drop into midfield today. Last week did play as a centre-back as Mazes will pick off the loose ball. It's Leo Mazes who's offside. Well, I'm not entirely sure.
That looked very tight from our
how he was offside. I mean, it looks like he ran onto the ball, it seemed, but we'll have a look at that upon the replay. You can see Maker receives in board, drives, and Peters, the pass misplaced, and Yokokawa played it forward. And yeah, the ball just looked to run slightly away from him, and it's been called for offside. So, I think it might have been the initial pass received from Shepherd. Might have been. Yeah, he was offside, Kane Shepherd. So that makes a lot of sense upon introspection.
Great save by the keeper nonetheless.
It will be in vain. I'm sure Marco Giannakis will be happy with that. Bit of catching practice. Collins with a strong slide. Mazes. Here's Jamal Ali. He loses that possession. Here's Emmanuel Peters racing down that left touch line. A fan favourite among these parts, Emmanuel Peters. That's poorly given away by Dan Edwards. Yeah, Emmanuel Peters, I mean, I guess he's come into the NPL 1 this season and has delivered on basically every statistic. Face formerly of the Central Coast Mariners, Mount Druitt, Marconi, Kingston, Manningham, Dandenong City. Considering he's only in his early 20s, he's certainly had quite a few clubs to play at in his career.
He was in Malta last year as well. So it's nothing holiday.
With Kurtzum Ajax. So. And has come back to the NPL Victoria. Had a great season. 7 goals so far in the league. Pretty good ratio, to say the very least. Peters is offside, and a bit of a scuffle here between Jamal Ali and Emmanuel Peters. Tension brewing here at the Village. Mawai Dara. Baker picks off the pass. Sen, Bechvanovsky to chase down that right touch line. Delivers it in towards Courtney Perkins. Can he get a shot away? He can't, but actually managed to keep it in past the byline. Sharks will look to press. It's Owen Ashton. who plays it towards Hayden Fedahajic. There's Dunlop. Now Dane Milovanovic. Dan Edwards. Nathaniel Hancock. One of the very younger players within the Sharks side, of course, arriving across from South Melbourne, where he barely got time last season to really bet his way into the side. Spent time in the UAE, the Saham club. And here's Courtney Perkins. Absolute pandemonium pinball now as Courtney Perkins will find space and look towards Fraser Dunlop to manufacture something. Fraser Dunlop whisking wide of the top corner. The Sharks certainly have the better of Heidelberg at the moment. Wowee. Quite the different complexion that we saw in the opening 20 few minutes. Ross Papadakis.
This is a great game. I think Port Melbourne's obviously, they've come into the feel of the game. Took them 20 minutes, but they've come out firing. They want this win. Neil, I think.
Yeah, as we approach the 45-minute mark, there's plenty to ponder for both sides heading into this second half. Chances have been forthcoming, but none of which have pierced the back of the net as it's given away by the Burgers once more. Baker. Sharks. Looking good, but gave it away towards Mazes. And here is Nick Olsen. Incisive towards Mazes across the face, and the intended target was Kane Shepherd. And Peters. Edwards. Oh, Hancock slips. And the call for handball is not given. A great touch from Yokokawa. Hasn't he been tidy today, Asahi Yokokawa?
Yeah, he's controlling the midfield here as well. He's actually he's sitting there deeper as well. Looks like everything's going through him as well. So, loving the link up with him and Miles out wide.
Here's Courtney Perkins. Couple of step overs. Jackson Courtney Perkins. Nearly sent onto the road. We'll have 1 minute of added time in this first half. Avondale have scored a fifth against Manningham. The second half has just completely opened up the game for them. But if you're John Anastasiadis or Nick Marinos, what's the approach you take into halftime, Ross?
It's tricky because both teams are doing their right things, both teams doing their wrong things. I think Heidelberg keep playing the way they play. You'd think they would be all right. Port Melbourne seem to be soaking up pressure, so I think it's just it's anyone's game here. So just a few changes, some fresh legs there, get some width going, and Heidelberg could capitalise here.
Certainly free-flowing football within this first half. 0-0 at the Village. Heidelberg United 0. Port Melbourne 0. back to round 19, NPL Victoria. Heidelberg United taking on the Port Melbourne Sharks, 0-0 at the halftime break. Ross, plenty to ponder. A game that's ebbed and flowed in many different ways, but you have to say fairly evenly poised if you were to assess the balance of chances, the balance of opportunities.
It has. It's been, and it seems like it was a game of 15 minutes installments there. It was Heidelberg, Port, and then Heidelberg, and then Port. So it was back and forth. So it's good. We'll see who comes out firing at the start of this half.
Yeah, of course, both sides hitting the woodwork in that first half, and also a big penalty shout to the Port Melbourne Sharks. Kane Shepherd looks like it hit his chest / shoulder. Full time at Avondale, they did secure a 5-1 win over the Manningham, and obviously that doesn't really change the table at the moment, but as we head into the back half of the season, the Burgers will be very keen to secure a spot near the top. Of course, next week they have an enormous fixture against Avondale at home next Saturday as well. So, important time for all involved. In fact, might I say, not the Saturday, the Sunday. So, we all love some Sunday NPL football. Here's Charlie Leach. Given away, and the Sharks will now take possession. Of course, Heidelberg currently, as a result of the Cannons' results earlier today, will now jump up into third. If they can get that win, it means they will have a 2-point buffer, so the table beginning to take shape heading into the latter part of the season. Here is Nick Olsen driving in transition. He's got Kane Shepherd to his right. Stop and start for the Burgers. It's Owen Ashton who completely makes a meal of it. But if you are the Port Melbourne Sharks, you have to be very happy with that first half performance, especially the back half. The way that they pressed in banks of three was really impressive.
I think they can be unhappy they haven't scored, actually. They were on top the second half of the half, and then obviously they've hit the woodwork. Decisions gone against them. I think they can... 0-0's good, but I think they can probably be unhappy with a 0-0 as well.
Absolutely. And here's Aiden Federhajic. Long ball towards Shepherd. And Ashton will receive the second ball. Racing down that right flank. Of course, Owen Ashton, not traditionally a starting player for Heidelberg United, but this year he's really taken things by the horns and has bettered his way into the starting 11. Of course, the former West Bromwich Albion youth products, played under 18s there, and of course within the PL2, as they call it, you would play against some pretty talented players, Ross.
He did. He's got Anthony Alanga, Brandon Williams, Michael Elise rings.
Yeah, linked to Bayern Munich this morning. So, yeah. Quite contrasting careers, one would say. But Ashton has been a fixture of this Heidelberg side for a few seasons now, as Olsen will win out, but unfortunately loses possession. This is his fourth season at the Burgers. Owen Ashton joining in 2024. Is Shepherd towards Mazes. He's got Ashton waiting in the middle. Isolated with Alex Baker. It's Leo Mazes. And does spot Olsen, but most likely wasn't the intended pass. Idara within the area. Back towards Nick Olsen. It deflects away from Marco Giannakis. And it will be out for a corner. But again, Leo Mazes and Nick Olsen combining. I mean, we talk about the most dangerous front threes. You hear Zinni, Kerr, Ott, or Zinni, Kerr, Ahmed, and then Humes, Gulevsky, Bingham, and Abdallah and Isgrove. And then you have the Heidelbergs, which I say very understated, as it's towards now Leo Mazes with the delivery! On the outside of the foot shot attempt, but the Burgers gaining territory about 5 minutes in. Here's Hancock. Ball forward, chested down by Courtney Perkins. Emmanuel Peters looking to get a touch. And a great ball from Edwards down the line. We'll find space for Courtney Perkins, but Ben Collins was there to step up. Here's Shepherd. And again, Edwards. Such a woolly veteran in the way that he likes to shift away. I mean, he's in mid-20s, but Dan Edwards has grown into this side in recent seasons, the Kiwi. Quite an interesting career, of course, playing college soccer, as they call it in the US.
Yeah, he's looking comfortable on the ball. The whole back line, to be fair, pretty secure.
Joined Australia as a midfielder and has now been primarily used as a left back. But if you do remember the Port Melbourne sides of old, within that midfield, you had quite the talented players available. And it's really been a big shift in the tide at the Port Melbourne Sharks. Only a few players remaining from last campaign. Christian Bombachi, Courtney Perkins. As Mazes delivers, it is kept in play by Marco Yanakis. In fact, it is not. Yeah, Bombachi, Courtney Perkins, as I mentioned, Dan Edwards as well, kept from last year. And a big exodus, as we did see last campaign. Ross Archibald, Michael Eager. George Mells, of course, left the midway point of last campaign, which really stuffed things for them within that midfield region, but they, of course, did make finals. As Owen Ashton will now deliver on this left flank. It's a great delivery towards Shepherd at the back post! Was Ben Collins. Had to finish that.
That's unfortunate. That's very... It's just got to him too late and he's over the bar.
That was the chance that Heidelberg had to take by the scruff of the neck. And it is Ben Collins who's got onto a couple of those headers from set pieces. But when asked to do it with his feet, doesn't quite have the same effect. Here's Olsen. Plenty of space to exploit. Here's Mazes. Zara making an overlapping run. It's Leo Mazes. Finds Kane Shepherd on his left. And Edwards in the pass deflected from Idara. Out for a goal kick, should I say.
Mazes is looking very nice on the left there. The front three looks very fluid as well. They keep switching around. But Mazes out left. Very, very comfortable. It's good. He's cutting in. He's crossing the ball in. What more can you ask from a winger?
Apologies if the sound has been a bit quiet. Of course, listening to Ross Papadakis and Neil Simon on commentary here on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Of course, the big Dandy Derby this evening in Dandenong. Isn't that going to be an exciting game? Dandenong City and Dandenong Thunder going to battle at George Andrews Reserve. Plenty of action to keep you occupied and in the NPL Victoria across all tiers. And ironically enough, Ross, I mean, the clubs both have Croatian and Albanian heritage. And ironically enough, in the Euros earlier this week, Croatia and Albania did battle. Only a mere imitation of what was happening in the NPL Victoria that weekend. Short towards Leach. Turning left, delivered into the near post, and a great strong header from Maker. And ironically enough, it's not an open play where the sides are imposing their influence. It's through set pieces, but Ross, might that have been a method of intention from both coaches?
I think it is. I mean, the game's looks a little bit more open than it was in the first half, and both teams are coming out here. I mean, they want a goal, realistically.
Olsen on the perimeter of the area, all the way towards the byline, and Milovanovic with his head to it. Burgess fans thought it was a handball. I mean, what haven't they thought has been a handball?
Handball, yeah.
And yet another corner. It will be Nick Olsen. There's a bit of a break at the moment. It looks like Adabavka is having a chat to Alex Baker and Kane Shepherd. Heidelberg's fourth corner of the afternoon / evening. Is Olsen looping high towards Fedorhadzic. Ashton. First time wasn't so nice, so they might have to do it twice. But unfortunately, they won't even have the opportunity to fashion one in from a deflected set piece, but we'll have to do it from the corner flag once more. Where would you aim this, Ross?
Back post, did so.
And it is towards the near post.
Front post.
And it's Edwards who gets it away, and Zara will track back. But with that urgency already playing it back in play, as Shepherd might have beaten the last lion of defence, and it's Kane Shepherd!
Brilliant save.
One-on-one, Evan Marco Giannakis with an excellent save, and Shepherd was most definitely onside there. He had to finish there, but it wasn't to be.
It wasn't. Along the floor, maybe next time. He didn't really get down deep enough, so he could have capitalised if he aimed his back post there, even. But great save, Neil.
Certainly growing into his role, Marco Giannakis. It's towards Muzz's. Makeshift delivery of sorts, and it's Dunlop now, who manages to keep it in play briefly, but the Burgers are really imposing their influence and doing it in the most Heidelberg-esque style. And Ben Collins gives away the free kick. Hasn't that been quite the battle? Ben Collins and Emmanuel Peters, and this time it is Peters who is successful in his endeavour.
He has. Evan Peters is all over the ball here. It's really, he's, for his size, holding the ball up well. He's now on the wing as well by himself.
It's Peters. Cross towards Dunlop. Looks incisive towards Betchvinovsky. Flicks it over the top and
over the bar.
Not quite there for Yaron Souza. Neither side looking to their bench about 60 minutes in, and you would suspect that might change. Of course, Anthony Lesiotis is the player you'd highlight to bring on for the Burgers, giving them more control as a attempted line-splitting pass from Ashton. And again, this time it's Alex Baker who steps up. And it looks like it'll be one too many for Emmanuel Peters, and he will be asked to go into the book by Adam Bavkar. It's taken quickly, and, well, Olsen was offside. And it looks like we will see a change for Heidelberg in a few moments. John Anastasiadis is going to go to his bench and look to make a change. Here's Vidahadzic. Oh, it's won by Courtney Perkins. This could be huge for the Sharks. It's Bechvinovsky one-on-one, but Yaron Souza got his positioning excellent there.
Very, very great positioning there by Souza. Unlucky with the pass over as well.
Zara back to Souza. Could be in a pickle here, but the Sharks are pressing with such intensity, but Idara somehow keeps the ball. Tremendous. One of the most polished players you will see in this competition, Mohamed Idara.
Very talented player, and poor Melbourne here come out firing. They want this goal, Neil. They want it, man.
Mazes can't keep it in, but I think we will now see a change for Heidelberg United. It looks as if we will see Owen Ashton make way, and oncoming will be Anthony Theodoropoulos. A talented player in his own right, and a double change in fact. And Ben Collins will also depart for Dion Nicolaides. So this will see a tactical shift from John Anastasiadis. Nicolaides, traditionally a left fullback. And it looks like Jamal Ali will drop central. And Adrian Zara will take space on the right flank now. So a very intriguing tactical switch. Nicolaides, of course, has been a part of this Heidelberg side for over 10 years and actually trained with the first team as a teenager, 15, 16. Since broken into the first team. And there's now a main fixture. Anthony Theodoropoulos, Ross, can also provide plenty of energy coming off the bench.
It can, yeah. I mean, I think Heidelberg needed it. They've been running the flanks all day.
Bechvinovsky. Well, welcome to the NPL, Alex Bechvinovsky. A rude awakening as the reality of tight space comes to fruition for him. Shaped in towards Courtney Perkins. It's just behind him. And Idara sends it high. Edwards stepping in. Maker, now Peters. The Sharks, certainly scrappy, but creating plenty in their attacking third.
They are. They look like the Port look like the better team in this second half. They've coming out. They're pushing for a goal.
As you would expect, Bechvinovsky again gives away possession. Wins it back. Of course, his father, Sash, the best player in Victorian football that we'd seen in some time. Of course, the highest post-war goal scorer we've ever seen. Formerly of Green Gully, Preston and Altona, and was at the Bulleen Lions in 2008, playing with a young Matthew Leckie. I bet Matthew Leckie feels old when when he realises this. Well, Dan Edwards, I mean, his deliveries have been good, but something has to be different this time.
It does, yeah.
Edwards towards the back post this time. It's Milovanovic. And away by the Burgers. Excellent work by Charlie Leach to evade the Heidelberg press. And it looks like there is a player down. And it is Dane Milovanovic. So we might see a break and play. Well, he's been quite solid, to say the very least. Ross, have you been happy with his performance?
I have been, yeah. Looks pretty defensively sound. I mean, Port Melbourne do in general. They've just conceded a couple shots over the top, in behind. Leo Marzis, obviously notable for the Heidelberg. But, yeah, very, very solid. Quite happy with the performance.
Solid is definitely the descriptor one would use to describe Dane Milovanovic. Player known for his his tackling and his ruthless aggression. Peters at the delivery, and it'll be Yaron Souza's to keep. But the Sharks should look to their bench. I mean, they've got plenty of players to choose from. Plenty of outstanding young players as well that's come through the youth system. Ethan Brooks returns from injury. We know what he can do at this level. And again, Heidelberg give it away in their own half. It's Theodoropoulos. And might I say, Ross, that the way that Port Melbourne press at specific phases in the game is a very unique method of intention. I mean, usually you would see teams enforce a press throughout the whole game or within 30 or 15-minute patches, but they know whenever pressure's applied, we have to press.
Exactly, and I think that's probably the reason why Heidelberg's made changes in the first place. The width. They brought on fresh legs to get in behind the high line. So good from Heidelberg there, good from Port, but yeah, look to the bench, make some changes.
Yeah, Ethan Brooks has mentioned. We've got Amanhom Karmas, who has been out for a long time, but returned last week. Jordan Gazim, Mark Latsis, who was the player that did start last week, but wasn't afforded that opportunity this evening. There's Milovanovic. Back towards Baker. A chest ball from Bechvinovsky. Maker. Now Dunlop pushing up high. The incisive ball towards Bechvinovsky and looks to get the ball in, but yet another corner and approaching the 70th minute mark. Just to get the feeling that someone has to make themselves a hero.
Port really need to capitalise on these set pieces. They've got the height in there. We saw in the first half they took over. So it's, again, yeah, they've missed that one chance. Decision's gone against them, but they need to start looking at some individual brilliance maybe.
And here is Daniel Edwards in towards the back post. There's Milovanovic, but Souza was huge in that instance. And I think the free kick has been called. But I think maybe executing a short corner would be beneficial. I'm no corner expert, but...
Maybe. I mean, yeah, like I said before, they've got the height. I mean, they've definitely got the talent. Try something new. It's all the same.
Yeah. Corners are a thing of timing. It's very hard to execute them perfectly. As Yokokawa, I think, might have stepped on Maker and is awarded a yellow card for his indiscretion. And yeah, this is the first time we've really seen Heidelberg struggling for a long patch of time, and it's been something that they've not really experienced throughout the whole campaign, as we will see the Sharks make a change coming off Fraser Dunlop, oncoming Mark Latsis.
Which we've just mentioned.
And yeah, Mark Latsis, talented in more ways than one. Both on the pitch and off it. Ross, formerly of Kingston City, where he suffered that horrific leg break in the promotion relegation playoff in 2022, and then rejoin the the Melbourne Victory Youth Academy. But off the pitch, he's done plenty of well, hasn't he, Ross? Mark Latsis?
Yeah, he's actually at Monash Uni doing a Bachelor of Engineering, so it's quite intelligent.
Not the easiest degree. I can tell you from personal experience.
So he's managing semi-professional football with a pretty hefty uni degree, so fair play to him.
Well, good with numbers. Can he utilise that to full effect this evening? Here is Mark Latsis. The first touch.
It's a corner.
And wins the corner. Well, as you mentioned, Ross, so they do need to try something different, but what would you suggest?
Well, we can see Heidelberg here making 2 changes in after probably the corner, but again, here, I mean, we saw first half they went back post, they nearly got a goal from it. Edge of the box, a bit further wide. We got 3 pacing into the box. And they're going short, it looks like, actually.
Well, it looks like they were heeding to our demands, but it's delivered towards the near post yet again. The second ball doesn't fall kindly, but Heidelberg will look to break. The first line of defence was unable to be broken, but the second might be all the more difficult. Players streaming forward, and Mark Latsis bats that away into the Savlaki GR stand on the far side. And we will see a couple changes as well. Off-coming will be Mahmoud Aidara, and on-coming will be the return of Anthony Lesiotis. Hasn't featured since early May. And Leo Mazes will depart for Sean Ellis. A good shift from both Aidara and Mazes. But Anthony Lesiotis, what an absolute delight to bring off the bench.
It is, yeah. Well, I'm a Victory fan. I remember seeing him in Victory colours, so it's nice to see him here. Back after 6 weeks, as mentioned, but I think he's going to be a working cog in the midfield for Heidelberg.
Yes, of course, both Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City Academies had a brief stint at the Wanderers where he didn't see a single minute on the park. Here's Olsen towards Yokokawa. Space opening up. A great delivery to the back post. Might it find a player? It does. It's kindly towards Adrian Zara! Oh. And we've seen him do it from that range before. But this time it wasn't to be. Well, Lesiotis is quite the player to bring on. I think will combine very nicely with Yokokawa.
He's got a very experienced midfield, yeah.
Let's just see as to what Sean Ellis, the Heidelberg hero, can he turn provider once more? And one of the most crucial phases of the game. Lesiotis spots out Theodoropoulos, a beautiful turn. And Maker with a turn of his own, and the poor Melbourne can get out of harm's way. Here's Courtney Perkins. The Sharks yet to look to their bench besides the initial change they made a few minutes ago. But you did mention Lesiotis, of course. A very tidy player for the Victory in past times. More notably, I think his stint at right back for a portion of the campaign under Marco Kurtz was outstanding, to the point in which he was receiving potential acclaim for Ollie Roos appearances, but I think was quite unfortunate in that instance as Dan Edwards fashions one in. For him to return from injury, he adds a level of calmness and coolness.
He does, yeah. I mean, obviously he's just got back, so obviously might not find his feet straight away, but he's going to sub here for Port Melbourne.
And it looks like we will see Alex Petchvinovsky come off, and oncoming is Andrew Mezzaruni. A big day for the Mezzaruni family. Ross, and of course, his father, Andrew Mezzaruni, Senior, announced to have departed South Melbourne as his position of technical director, but will still be a partner of the club. As towards Milovanovic with his spectacular attempt. Well, wouldn't that have been absolutely outrageous? Still in his 30s, and he can pull off something like that. I bet his hamstrings are hurting after that.
I tell you what, if that went in, this crowd would not be happy here.
Especially with Milovanovic being a former Burgers player. And it's a great delivery towards Courtney Perkins. But Nicolaides will look to win out. We do get the sense that we're for a grandstand finish as Olsen is picked off by Charlie Leach. Such amazing work from the Western Australian. A diminutive and tidy midfielder has been incredible at the base of midfield. Here's Mark Latsis. Looking towards Leach and lost our possession, but put a foot at it and sending in behind Courtney Perkins. It's got Mezzaruni at the back post. It's Jackson Courtney Perkins, and Lesiotis nearly sends it into the Heidelberg club rooms.
It's a great bit of movement there as well down the wing. Courtney Perkins is all over it.
He's been incredible for them.
Exceptional, yeah. And Mezzaruni getting in space as well. Is very open. Maybe a goal coming.
Providing options, of course, the former South Melbourne youth product. Has had a stint overseas as well with Lamia. And just the one senior appearance in the Greece second division. Towards the near post. Charlie Leach, tricky footwork. The Sharks will look to try once more, and it looks like the obtuse delivery will be from Dan Edwards. Chats it down, the attempted overhead again from Tanu Milovanovic. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that.
It was very far out as well. Edge of the box, and he's gone for it again.
Oh, why not have a pop? Heidelberg in transition. Here is Nick Olsen.
Oh, he's fallen on his feet there a bit.
It's Theodoropoulos, and didn't get his bearings right on that occasion.
This is what we're seeing there. We're seeing the Port Melbourne high press. They're getting caught out in behind. The wingers make the run down the line, and then Port Melbourne have lack of numbers back. So it's interesting to see here for Port Melbourne, but
yeah, Port Melbourne have been all over Heidelberg in this second half. As they win the free kick yet again in their attacking half.
Oh, he looks in pain here as well.
Yeah, it looks to be in a bit of strife. Does the player in question. Well, Port Melbourne have only utilised 2 subs, but I'm sure they'll look to their bench a few more times, maybe, in pursuit of that. Well, at this point, you just get the feeling it's got to be a 1-0.
Yeah, it's got to be. I think one goal decides it. I think it's deserved either team, no matter who gets it, but it's as well 0-0, well-fought battle.
Absolutely a well-fought battle. Here's Dani Milovanovic. Hancock. Given away by the Sharks. Ellis. What else is there to say about Sean Ellis? His 10th season at the Burgers, NPL Championship winner. Could he be the man to deliver success as towards Mezzaruni entering the area? But great defensive work from Nick Dion Nicolaides. Tremendous. The long-time club custodians. Dion Nicolaides and Mezzaruni with South Melbourne. They would have known each other all too well throughout youth football. Here's Theodoropoulos towards Ali, and Port are pressing once more. This is what we were talking about before, Ross, is that they're pressing in moments, and these are when moments do count. Maker looking towards the byline, and a great lunging effort from Dion Nicolaides. He's been a breath of fresh air and energy.
He has been. This is... Port Melbourne's coming. They're coming. It's a throw-in by the looks of it, but this could be very much like a corner here.
Kept in play by the Sharks, and no, it will be a Sharks throw-in on this near side. Well, as things currently stand, the Burgers still are in third on goal difference. But a goal here would change the complexion dramatically, and for the Sharks as well, they know that they have to win this game. Here's a Leach picking up the loose ball. It's Charlie Leach. It's towards Latsus, who's offside. What a golden opportunity for the Port Melbourne Sharks.
You just think if Leach goes himself, an extra touch, maybe bottom corner, top corner, the keeper looked a bit tight in his box. So it was Latsus' very good movement as well there. So.
Well, the Sharks, with a win tonight, would go only within 1 point of Hume City, but as things currently stand, in 6th, 5 points clear of 7th, Melbourne Knights. And Hancock, what brilliant work to find Emmanuel Peters.
It's been all Port Melbourne here this last 10, 15 minutes. I think the subs have made a difference here.
And Shepherd with a pull of the shirt, but Leach is still going. I don't see Kane Shepherd act so feisty and angry, but he knows with certainty that they're being played off the park at the moment. It's short towards Milovanovic. Towards Emmanuel Peters. Looking to shift away towards a byline. And gives away possession cheaply. Delivered now and towards the near post, and it's Hancock with the header.
And here we go. Port's got no numbers back, so they're...
Well, they're enforcing pressure and inviting pressure, but it works out for them.
Looks like Heidelberg getting a change ready.
And here's Courtney Perkins, and a great save from Sosa, and Latchis goes to ground, is told to get up by Adam Bavkar, and play will resume.
Both of them look in pain here as well.
Oh, Dion Nicolaides and Mark Latchis are in all sorts. And both physios will be called on. A very ugly challenge. We'll have a look at that just now. It was towards Courtney Perkins, and looks like Nicolaides got the ball, but Latchis ending up second best. We hope both of them are okay, but it will definitely cause a delay to this fixture. It doesn't quite fit the description of what we've seen in previous matches. I mean, Heidelberg have conceded in the last 6 matches, and Port Melbourne have scored in 4 of the last times facing off against Heidelberg, but we've not seen a 0-0 draw in some time for both of these sides. So
we haven't. Well, like was said, last time they played 2-2, and Mezzarini with a 86-minute equaliser. So, will he be the hero again?
Sign of something to come, potentially.
Potentially.
Who knows?
This is concerning for Latsis here, though, because he's been electric down that right-hand side.
Oh, he's been absolutely electric. You can really think that, he's coming as a right-back. He's basically been playing on the right wing the entire night. And yes, they've called for a change. Dion Nicolaides is going to go off here. So after coming on and producing an incredible 10 minutes or so, he will come off, and oncoming will be Ben Devine, who is actually a striker and has been...
Interesting.
Yeah, Dion Nicolaides is limping away, but Latchis is all good to continue. And Ben Devine, of course, top goal scorer in the NPL 2 under-21s with Bulleen Lions last season, and has repeated his goal-scoring exploits in the 21s this season, this time with the Burgers.
This is concerning.
Yeah, this is really concerning for Dion Nicolaides.
Oh.
Lost his spot in the team, now potentially out with an injury.
Yeah, this is... Oh.
In fact, it will not be just Dion Nicolaides making way. It will be Kane Shepherd as well. And here is Shepherd. Perhaps a bit of a miscue from the from the subs bench. As it was not Kane Shepherd, it was in fact Dion Nicolaides who made way. But here's Emmanuel Peters. Oh,
it's a bit late.
Lesiotis with an off-the-ball challenge against him.
I'll tell you what, Lesiotis isn't playing like he's missed 6 weeks.
Challenges everywhere at this time, in and out. As Nick Olsen goes to ground. Well, Nick Olsen, probably haven't spoken about him enough. I mean, has returned to the NPL, although this time in Victoria. He's got quite a lot of pedigree and has performed tonight diligently well.
He has, yeah. He played for Brisbane Roar. So it's very nice. 2021-22 season, 19 games for the club. And now he's here, loving life at Heidelberg. So,
and
good on him.
They did have that big injury scare at the start of the campaign against Avondale, where there was an ambulance that had to be driven onto the pitch. The game got, well, not postponed, but abandoned in the 86th minute, I think it was. So, and he returned next week. Just absolute magic.
There you go.
From Nick Olsen. He's got magic in those boots as well. '87th minute now here at the Olympic Village. Heidelberg and Port Melbourne going to battle. And Yokokawa looks down the line. Latsis with the body challenge. He can do defensive work as well. Can the young fullback?
He's come on and he's made it. He's made the difference here. Defensively and, well, we've just seen it defensively, but also attacking. He's making darting runs down the line. Oh, it's...
Zara. It's Olsen with space. Shepherd. It's Kane Shepherd and a great save from Marco Yanakis yet again.
Great save.
Kane Shepherd denied once more. It's Olsen. And that was Sean Ellis that time. Can the Sharks reply themselves? Courtney Perkins is free.
Himself.
Jackson Courtney Perkins isolated with Aiden Fedahadjic, a clip ball toward the back post. It was a great method of intent. It wasn't quite executed in the manner in which he would have liked.
This is anyone's game here.
It's
2
Ben
minutes
Devine.
to go, not including additional time.
Mark Latsis. Milovanovic. Leach. Across to Edwards. Both sides not wanting to settle whatsoever. Either side batting down the hatches. It's all systems go at this point.
Yeah, Heidelberg picking up the intensity as well.
And space for Latsis on this right-hand side. Oh, looking incisively towards Courtney Perkins, but how good was that from Aiden Fedahadjic? Here's Devine. Sean Ellis. Latsis with a timely interception, and the Sharks will go away yet again. It's just end-to-end. And quite literally end-to-end as
It's offside.
Emmanuel Peters is offside. And stoppage time incoming. Ross. Honestly, it's anyone's game at this point.
Anyone's game here. They both want a result here, clearly, so they're both coming out. It's making the game a bit more open as well.
All the approach is unrelenting. as
There we go.
they look down the line towards Yokokawa, but Baker making quick work of it. Fedahajic, Milovanovic, Alatsis looks back towards his goalkeeper, and Marco Giannakis. I mean, we'll see at a time in about 10 minutes. Sorry, about 10 seconds, should I say. As the fourth official will put up his board and signal 6 minutes of at a time.
I think it's fair.
Probably justified.
Yeah.
Hancock. Port Melbourne beginning to run out of ideas, and Mezzaruni picks up in space and will find Courtney Perkins. His body checked by Jamal Ali and sends it over the fencing out of play.
It's coming. Port Melbourne won it.
Well, a moment to breathe, Ross.
Oh,
We
straight
get
back
a
to
late
Port.
show. And Peters towards a leech. Looking for the forward pass.
Another ball on the pitch here as well.
And we've got 2 balls now. That is very poor. I'm not exactly sure what's happened here. Another stop-start moment. I'm not sure we've ever seen it. How did that ball come on the pitch? That is outrageous.
Replay here.
Oh, it looks as if
A fan.
maybe a supporter threw a ball onto the pitch and broke up a very key phase of play. I'm confused. Long ball, Shepherd. Latsis composed. Maker striding forward and a long ball over the top. And Ali steps in the way. Here's Lesiotis. With the composed Anthony Lesiotis. Nick Olsen deputising as a left back now in place of Dion Nicolaides. And you say he's probably the player to do so.
Yes, he's looks comfortable.
Lesiotis. Sean Ellis. Zara. A great delivery, and it's Milovanovic who got in the way. Yokokawa looking to win back the ball, but he can't, and Alex Baker will send it high. Olsen, a good touch. Lesiotis looking for the 1-2. Theodoropoulos knew nothing about that.
And back down the other end.
And back down the other way, and Emmanuel Peters is striding forward.
Oh.
That is an
Has to reach
excellent
into his
challenge
pocket
from
there.
Lesiotis, but might have imposed himself a little bit too much. It is awarded a yellow card. The right decision?
I think so. Oh. I think the challenge needed to be made on Heidelberg's behalf, but looking at the replay now, it's a bit late.
Yeah, it was a little bit late, but well, about 3 minutes gone in stoppage time. And Heidelberg will need to find a winner. And so too the Sharks. Lesiotis returns and gets a yellow card. That's what you want to see if you're John Anastasiadis,
Yeah.
running that intensity. Maybe not the card itself, but it was a
Yeah.
challenge that needed to be made, Ross.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more for a player that's been missing for 6 weeks. So doesn't look like he's missed 6 weeks either. He looks like he's controlling that midfield very nicely for Heidelberg. But
Well, Dan Edwards has been the man to deliver essentially every single corner this evening and will be on top of this set piece. Just about every Port Melbourne player is forward for this occasion. And Anabavkar will send things underway. Edwards and Fedahajic got in the way, and Heidelberg will marshal up men forward. And they have to at this point. Edwards shifting away. Still wins the ball, though, for the Port Melbourne Sharks. I think we might have maybe one or 2 minutes extra added
I
on.
think so, yeah.
Maybe. as the Sharks towards the corner flag. They look to play it more in field. Hancock stepping up high. It's Maker. I knew nothing about that. And here's Theodoropoulos. Shepherd.
Ooh.
And does find space on that right flank. Anthony Theodoropoulos loses out. Yokokawa goes to ground, and the free kick for Heidelberg in the 95th minute.
This is big. This is big.
Well. Late drama here at the Village. And it is Asahi Yokokawa who's been so excellent tonight.
This is big for Heidelberg, Neil. This is massive. All the fans want it. You can hear the chanting.
Well, a wall of four. And quite tall players. Courtney Perkins, Maker, Hancock.
Wall of five.
Wall of five, in fact, actually. It's Yokokawa and Sean Ellis standing over this one. Might this be the moment? Sean Ellis!
Oh, and great save.
A great save of Emamaka Ioannakis. It was still quite central, but he has been tremendous.
He has been today.
We have now passed 96 minutes. And Ellis with the delivery. It's Ali. Keeps it in play. Milovanovic bats it clear. And that is full time here at the Olympic Village. Neither side able to get themselves in front. Very entertaining 0-0 as Heidelberg United and Port Melbourne ends in 0-0. Ross Papadakis, your thoughts?
Very up and back game. I think Port Melbourne came out there with a lot of intent, I think, and that second half was all Port Melbourne's game. I think they can be disappointed not coming away with a win there, but fair battle, 0-0, no complaints.
Yeah, absolutely. And we would have definitely liked a goal or two, where we do have a bit of a scrap here between Yaron Souza and a few Port Melbourne players. A bit of harsh words, perhaps, but that's been broken up. It doesn't seem to be anything serious. But yes, obviously we would have loved a goal, and it certainly felt that was going to be a goal. But unfortunately, things aren't meant to be. But it certainly sets a good precedent for the Port Melbourne Sharks heading into the rest of the season.
It does. Yeah, they've got a lot to think about, a lot to work on. But yeah, Nick Marinos, new in his management, so go training on Monday and see how it goes, I guess.
Neither side able to be separated in both meetings this season. I've been Neil Simons, he's been Ross Papadakis, and we'll see you very, very soon. Thank you and good night.
Good.